Hello, my lovely starborns. Welcome to your collective reading. Today, we are getting messages for the Venus transit in the sign of Taurus, where we already have the Jupiter and the Uranus conjunction. So, Venus will be joining Jupiter and Uranus. Now, you see, this is a very super benefic energy, and when it comes to Uranus, usually traditional astrology as well as sidereal, right? Which is also traditional. But I'm also talking about the tropical traditional astrology. So the outer planets are not counted. But when it comes to Uranus, and if you are into human design, you would understand that the discovery of Uranus was just life changing at the collective level. It caused the collective shift, the shift that is being fully consolidated around this time, you see. Now, further down the line, of course, other planets were discovered and whatnot, and the shifts kept leveling up. There were levels to the shift, and we are almost reaching the culmination point of this collective shift, which will be realized in the year 2027. But yeah, we are almost there. I mean, if you look at it, time flies by real quick, doesn't it? And yeah, pretty soon we will be heading into the year 2027. Well, all of that is happening, yes, but I don't know why am I even talking about it. But I feel like this conjunction in the sign of Taurus is super important. I believe, where's my phone? Yeah, I believe Mercury is also joining Taurus. Yes, it's transiting to the sign of Taurus pretty soon. So yeah, a lot is happening in the sign of the bull. And what's crazy is we are actually in the Taurus season right now. Yeah. And then Jupiter will be moving out of Taurus into Gemini too. But the thing is, in Sidereal, it will still be in Taurus. So there's that. Yeah, Mercury is entering Taurus on the 15th of May. And then we also have this new moon happening in Taurus, right, which is on the 7th. Also, whenever, yeah, of course, like new moon in Taurus, it's very important for setting intentions, visualization. If you're into mantra chanting and all of that, it's good. It's a very good time to focus on your spiritual practices. So let's see what is happening. What does the collective need to know for Venus in Taurus, the collective transit? Now let's see. I'm going to use my Egyptian deck. It's been a while. Let's see what is happening. Yo, I just saw Gabe and Ujit and Renenet. Okay. Okay, what is happening, Spirit? Show us. Tell us about this Venus in Taurus transit. We need to know. Final. Wow, Sasheda, the cosmic architect. Let's see why we have this here. Wow, Ben. Okay. And one from the archetype. That was quick. Thanatos, the box, the dead end, the maiden, the thread, the village. The mentor and the self. Let's see. Let's get one. Yeah, we have one flipped. The river, crossing the river of life, and the mask underneath. And this one really wants to come out. Bess. Okay. Even this one, Ashtarat. Okay, and even this one is popping out. Whoa. Of Natero. I'm not taking those, but yeah, all these cards want to come out. Let's just see. Amenta, Shashma 42, F Natero, Unu T45, and Zaris. Oh, yo. And Apet. Let's see the oral energy. Yeah, this one. I saw her. Renanet. I feel like what's happening here is I focused. Do you know what it is that you're aiming for? Some of you could be seeing 777 quite a lot. 77 is, yeah, it's following you everywhere. And not just 777, also 707, 717. Because usually we see the things on the watch, right? Or on the clock or on the phone or whatever. But yeah, time. And there's no way to see 777, right? Because yeah, we only have 60 minutes. So 707 and 717 is often 777. Beat any number. Some of you could also be seeing 747. But yeah, sevens are following you for a reason, because your whole life is shifting, especially in the month of July. Everything is like changing. Plus, I was also talking about the year 2027, and just now I saw we are at the mark 7 minutes. And just now, as I said, it was 707. It's crazy. Anyway, so let's see what is happening, what we need to know here. I will be using my angel deck. Okay, and it's getting blurred again. I don't know what is the issue, but come on, seriously. Yeah, let's just keep it closer, closer. Yeah, I think this is fine. I'm hearing "Be better, have my money." I don't know why. Be better, have my money. Who took your money? Okay, that's Rihanna. So okay, I hope this is better now. Now, you see, what is happening here is realization of a plan, okay? Something you've had your eyes on, something that you've been trying to manifest for a long time. And perhaps there came a point where you were like, ugh, you know, a part of you kind of gave up, I would say, but you never gave up. That's what I'm here to tell you. Because your desire, this need, this want, this wish actually, it is very well protected, especially with Ashtaret there, all right? Though I am seeing there were blockages in place, there were distractions thrown your way, there were actual, some sort of like, yeah, look, where did it go? Anyway, so there was interference, energetic mostly. You have some weirdos around you, but it's all serving a purpose. You're not supposed to hide around this time, okay? You're not supposed to hide. So Taurus shares the axis, right, with Scorpio, and it is often suggested to Scorpios to keep it on the low, to not share whatever it is that they are doing, to protect them against evil eye and all of that, which is fine, it works for a while. But then there comes a point on your journey where you cross a certain threshold, and then you don't have to worry about all that. You don't, whether you're a Scorpio or not. Plus, I'm also talking to many of you who belong to the Pluto and Scorpio generation, including me. So, with our generation, the thing is, naturally, we're kind of low key, and it may appear that we're sharing too much, but it's like each one of us, we know we're never really sharing anything, especially when it comes to personal stuff, right? And it can be perceived a certain way, where you can get this advice that, okay, keep it on the low. But I'm here to tell you, no, do not keep it on the low. It's time to peacock. If not now, then when? And when I say peacock, it's like peacocking your creativity, peacocking your talent, peacocking what you're good at. You need to have courage to put yourself out there. And if there was a lack of courage, that is coming in, that is coming back in here. Because, we often forget that, okay, we always think of Mars as a warrior, which Mars is. Venus is also a warrior. Like, Venus is the hottest planet. Being from Venus, living on Venus, yeah, only warriors can do that. But it's not just about the temperature, and it's also why Venusians are hot. No, no, yeah, I mean, yeah, of course they are. But I don't know, there is this thing about understanding. Some of you really, really, you're connected with Isis's energy. You really work with Isis, at least she works with you. I don't know, but there's something of that nature here. Both these goddesses have their eyes set on the future, you see. And this guy, the Ankh, this is like an ancient, far more like, almost like, what is more ancient than ancient? Pre-ancient? Yeah, it's that form of Ankh here. It's a very, very old form of Ankh. Okay, so the energies that are at play here for my collective, it's ancient, primordial. Each one of you have access to really rare kind of information when it comes to occult knowledge, especially with Venus, because what is Venus? Venus is Shukracharya, right? Venus is the guru of the demons. Yeah, and Venus has this. Okay, so where Jupiter has this tall white energy, like these tall white aliens, they're a bit prejudiced against humans, and it has nothing to do with race and all that. But no, it is about the species itself, so the prejudice is deep rooted. So with Jupiterians, you have this unset prejudice in place, okay, where they will distinguish between right and wrong. There are clear boxes for everyone, okay, and everyone belongs to a category. You can also kind of relate this energy with the caste system in India, right? And you'll have, like, you can hear a lot of argument and in favor of the caste system. You can hear, and that is very Jupiter in nature. What I'm going to tell you is, it is the Brahmanical order. It is coming from Jupiter itself, right? Because he's the guru of the gods, and he's not concerned with the demons and what their word is about or whatever. But with Venus, it's like Venus cannot see this prejudice in play. Venus is all encompassing love. Again, this is where you tap into Isis energy. Uh, if you've been on my channel, whenever we are doing a reading, that whenever Isis shows up in our reading, there is this energy of unconditional love, right? Where there are really no boundaries, and somehow Venus wants to remove boundaries. Venus likes to just be, just become one with everything she touches. Now, this is also one of the reasons why Venus exalts in Pisces, which is the 12th sign, the house of dissolution. And with Pisces, it's again the last Nakshatra is the Gandanta Nakshatra, where all the spiritual knots are undone and dissolution happens, dissolution of the ego, and it is of the highest order. This dissolution is of the highest order, but we're talking about our collective, right? So of course we cannot reach that point, because what is that? That is attaining moksha. Many of you, if you're watching this, yeah, your soul wants moksha. I don't know if you're going to get it in this life or not. Many of you, you could, especially with the river there, because yeah, it's almost like you understand the mysterious journey that you're on. This is a very mysterious journey. This lifetime is very, very mysterious for you. But with Ben being there, it's like your reference point itself is very fluid, and you know that. So you kind of embody this cosmic wisdom. You're the Bodhisattva. You're becoming one. If you haven't already, like your path is saged. You're on the sage path. So again, this is the blessing of both Jupiter and Venus, but of course this reading is about Venus and Taurus. Of course, like I've been talking about Venus as the Shukrachara, which is the guru of the demons. So what happens is, when you tap into this Venusian love, this encounter with the energy of Venus, especially in the sign of Taurus, which is, again, it's a very, how do I explain this? So, if you look at Taurus, Taurus is, you can associate the sign of Taurus with Zeus. Okay, even the constellation, the bull, is connected to Zeus. So, who's Zeus? He's the god of all the gods. So he is Jupiter, right? Zeus is Jupiter. So Taurus already has this Jupiterian energy, and then it also happens to be the house of Venus, the first house of Venus. Though I have read somewhere, I'm not so sure, correct me if I'm wrong, don't quote me, but somewhere and I'm being reminded of it right now, so of course this needs to come through. I've read somewhere that Venus is far more comfortable in the sign of Libra. So the water energy that I'm talking about is actually far more pronounced in Libra than it is in Taurus, which again, I think Taurus is a feminine sign and Libra is the masculine sign, element being different, right? Air and earth. But what happens in Taurus is that you already have that Jupiter and masculine energy. So there's this beautiful harmony that is coming into balance when Venus enters into the sign of the bull. So it's like what is happening here is you want to, like, when you encounter this, what it does is it sparks a deep yearning within you for this is like a very subtle process, but what essentially it does is it wants you to reach out for God. Okay, it's like your soul wants to reunite with the source from this place of love and compassion. And plus, again, this is where your desires come in, because your desire is the physical form of what you love, and all of this is happening to serve the light. And when the loving water comes into the sign of the bull, this is the place in you, like this is where you have the courage to fully express that unconditional love, from the depths of your being. because the lines get blurred here, but at the same time not too blurred, because you still have structure here, because Taurus is a very earthly sign. It's the fixed earth, right? So it is all about that solid structure. It's very different from Venus being in the sign of Pisces, where it is exalted because it becomes kind of formless, it dissolves, everything is blurred, not only the lines, everything. There is a level of disintegration that happens there when the final spiritual note, which I call the Gandanta points. I mean, those are the Gandanta points. I'm not calling it, it's not just me, it's what it is called. But yeah, it's like entering the kingdom of heaven, which is a state of mind. So this is you touching the angelic presence, which is represented here with Ben. Video got disconnected for some reason. Now I'm being guided to pull an I Ching card. Let's see. This is for Venus transit in the sign of Taurus. Look what flipped. Nourishment. Mhm. Now, with this card, I feel like it's very important to take care of your physical body. So it's a very good time to actually, and especially because Mars will be entering its own sign of Aries pretty soon. And if you have noticed, both Taurus and Aries, now these signs correlate to the Emperor and the Empress in Tarot, right? As well as many other cards. But you see, there is this energy of the yin and yang, which is very prominent, especially with the transits here. It's also one of the reasons why I did the divine masculine and feminine energy check in. So I just feel like it's very important that if you have a physical routine in place around this time, it's just going to give you exponential benefit. All right. So having a yoga practice, or just gym or swimming or Pilates or calisthenics, whatever it is that you're into. But I feel like it would be really good to have some routine in place where you are letting the energy move in your body. It's also like you're recognizing with this transit, you're recognizing that you cannot overly rely on others for sustenance of any kind, because that is a recipe for disaster. Like, there is this emphasis on becoming self-sufficient, daring to be self-sufficient. Also, be very mindful of what you put in your body. Watch out for where you're getting your dopamine and other happy hormones from. Are you relying on food a bit too much to get your happy hit, you know? So, and also, like, what is it that you're putting in your body? Say no to junk food. I think it's highlighted for some reason here, because when you consume junk, it kind of like it drains your natural strength. It makes it, I don't know, it wanes it quickly, and it just puts you in the zone where you feel lethargic. And it's a very very good time to actually go after what it is that you've been meaning to make happen, but for some reason there were delays and you just could not. Now is the time. The stars have aligned. Like, if you have a fixed idea, if you have been working on something, keep going at it. Be strong-headed, bullheaded. I'm hearing be bullheaded, and also be like that ram. A bit of recklessness. Okay, I don't always suggest this, but it is coming in, and it's not exactly recklessness. Yeah, there will be no wreckage. It's just like it's that needed chaos energy that is needed to kind of like, drive you into motion, like put you into motion to make things happen, to just go after it, to let the engine running, it's like it's a very abundant period too, especially with this card showing up here. It's a very, very abundant period of your time. Okay, of this time around. Not your entire life, because I feel like there is so much more, so much more. Also, uh, watch out for the messages. Okay, there's something you're about to hear which is going to bring in a lot of success, so make sure you don't miss it. You will not, I believe you will not. This could be a personal advice, or maybe this is like that third perspective that you need from someone else, especially if it is connected to some sort of a challenge or a task that someone else has overcome, so you this is also a good time to actually receive advice, especially if you're caught up in something critical where you need that third perspective. I don't know why I'm getting third, not second perspective. Yeah, third, because maybe need to talk to somebody who is a bit. Okay, so while I was just saying that, my throat did a weird thing, it's almost like, the air was almost like sucked out of my throat. So, oh my god, throat. Okay, yes, that's Taurus energy, Vishuddhi. And what did I tell you? Mantra? Did I say that? Okay, so I have suggested this earlier too, but I'm going to tell you guys this once more, especially because Venus is in the sign now. Stand in front of a mirror and do this only if you're called to, okay? No pressure. But yes, those of you, if you're interested, do this. Stand in front of a mirror, take three fingers, okay? Just straighten them, first three fingers, and just curl in the little one. And keep the three fingers r- on your throat, right in the center, right? Where you'd like men will have their Adam's apple. That's exactly where you have to put it, okay? So your vocal cord on top of it, and look in the mirror and chant Vishuddhi at least 13 times. If you can do it, 108 times during this entire transit, okay? Until the end of Taurus season. Do this every day. It's going to help you purify, burn some repressed emotions, and bring back that confidence that is needed here in order to achieve what it is that you're aiming for. Because remember, all of this heavy energy in the sign of Taurus is very much telling. It is telling you to go after tangible gains. It is telling you to expand in the material realm, to expand the means of your sustenance, to strengthen the foundation that you've already built, and so much more. Also, like if you're aiming for that soft life so that you can be of service to others, it's time to make that happen. Because see, when you are in service to others, you do need a cushion. Yeah, you do need some sort of like a cushioned existence in order to do your job properly. That is why, I call I call all my light workers essentially divine child. They are divine children, golden children, divine children, where there comes a point after your awakening where you can tap into this universal abundance more than most people here on earth. You can totally access that energy provided you focus on your spiritual life. But if you get caught up in the maya of it all, and you get caught up in the trap of doing the things according to how everybody else is, that's counterproductive. Okay, and I think this is what you're realizing around this time. And no matter how complex the situation, things are, the solutions to your problems are easier than what is prescribed to the general audiences. I don't know why this is coming in, but yeah, maybe some of you are doubting that it's not going to be that easy, but I think it is going to be that easy. It is that easy. It's only up to you. Are you going to believe that? Are you going to make it a part of your reality? Because it is. It is a part of your reality. But are you going to allow it to be a part of your reality? Are you receptive enough? There is something of that nature that is happening here. Plus, with all this expansion, and especially when you're rooted in service to others, yes, there comes in a lot of responsibility for which you have to prepare. You have to prepare. Okay. Now, I just feel like owning your responsibilities is going to lead to good fortune here. Now, I'm being guided to pull some more cards. I'm going to use the alien deck first. Let's see what is happening for Venus and Taurus for my lovely collective. What we need to know. Let's see. Third eye. Wow. Okay, this is crazy. Did I mention, yes, all of this has a lot to do with manifestation, yes, and the practice that I just told you about is actually going to help you with your meditation and manifestations, yes. And what is pulling me in this card? The fact that the third eye is right where I told you to put your fingers. It's on her neck, right, right here. This is where you have to put the three fingers, first three fingers, and chant Vishuddhi. And how third eye and throat, they both share the same color spectrum, right? Which is blue, just different shades. Mm. So yes, this is what is up. And look, there's your Pleiadian energy. That is so Taurus. Wow. Alrighty. And now let's get you one sacred destiny card. Let me just keep it here. And even with the river, the energy is that of nourishment, right? Because humans usually love to live around the river, right? For a reason, because it provides sustenance. It also carries away one's dead ones, right? In many culture, it keeps cleaning the energy because the river is always flowing, right? So the mark is always taken out. Mm. That's also the nature of life itself, right? The flow never ends. Everything is always vibrating. But that mirror image in the river card always reminds me of a horse. I don't know what it is, but it looks like an upside down horse. Some of you, I do think of it as like maybe it is talking about Sagittarius, and Sagittarius being the natural traveler and all, a healed traveler. The river also heals, right? Chiron is coming in. Where is Chiron right now? I think it was conjunct North Node the last time I checked. Okay, something's up with Chiron too. Whoa, look! We have a mixed card here. Protection. I don't know why it is in this deck, but this wanted to come in, and we do have that special protection card with Ashtaroth here. Mm, and that protection card has the lightning bolts on it. But yeah, let's see. What more? Crazy. What do we need to know about this transit spirit? Tell us more. Chamber of the Violet Flame. Again, violet energy is kind of loud here. And I associate violet flame with Pleiadian energy, which is, again, super interesting. Let's get some tarot first. Let's see what is happening here. Some of you, you're about to embark on the union timeline, especially those of you, if you're in this, you are on the divine journey, twins, twin flames, higher level of soulmates, all of that good stuff, which is being dismissed on your end. Yeah, yeah, look at that. Love is being dismissed here. Oh my god, I can't make this up. Look, Queen of Cups with Eight of Cups. Yeah, that's dismissal, walking away from the love, walking away from the unconditionality of it all. You know why? Because yes, you've experienced it, it's your reality, it is real. That a lot of people, you can, people will say, and they say that love is not unconditional. And honestly, in this realm, it is really difficult. It is kind of not. But then there are some of us, yeah, we have experienced it, direct experience, right? So we cannot deny it, you cannot deny it. So what I see here is, it's not repression, it's not suppression of this understanding of this experience itself and knowing and unknowing. It is just, some of you, like, this is a choice that you're making, like, for now, I need to go. So you're walking away from what you know is your reality. And again, I would not call it denial, I would not call it dejection, rejection. No, this is different. I feel like it's temporary. Let's see. Because you feel like there's divine protection on this connection, on this love. So you don't have anything to worry about, or to, you're not trying to have any kind of false sense of control. There's that too. Let's see. Show me protection. This one wants to come out. Five of Wands. Yeah. Protected from conflict, drama of other people. Also, the conflict that arises when you consciously walk away from what you know to be your truth, your reality. It's just that you're understanding, you're in the know, like, something more, and you don't have to prove anything, you don't have to tell anyone anything. You're just doing you right now. That's the focus, regardless of the nature of this love. And you see that it looks like a butterfly, that angel. Yeah. The shape. Nine of Wands. Yeah, it's like, and they kind of have the similar name. Both the Wands, 5 and 9. 5 and 9. That's 14, isn't it? Yeah, and that's Temperance. But that's also the King energy. So it's like, you have work to do. Yeah, look at that Three of Swords, and you cannot allow this energy, this Three of Swords, to stop you from ascending. It's almost that. So of course, this is self-preservation. You have sacrificed. You made a sacrifice here because you intend to make something sacred through this sacrifice. You're not holding on to the toxicities. Something needs to shift, transform. That is what the butterfly. Something needs to shift in order for you to actually say yes to it. Right now, it's not it. Show me best. Four of Swords. Yeah, it's about the mission right now and how to make it happen. It's that time to actually, put yourself out there. Again, ha ha ha. Okay, this is no coincidence. Look at that. Ha ha hell. Ha ha ya. Ha ha sia. Okay, and trust me, there are many other. Look who's underneath. Gabriel. And that's an archangel. It's a big one. God is my strength. Divine revelation. Also has the power to destroy. This is the destruction of illusions, and you're not fighting against what you know. You're not trying to live a lie anymore because it's comfortable. You're super, you're becoming totally comfortable in the unknown, in the new, you're interested in the uncharted waters, my friend. Your personal Venus exalts in the uncharted waters of Pisces. Okay, I don't know what that means. All right. For many of you, it's about the new. It's all about the new. The new, at least now. Accurate. Yo, very dramatic. Knight of Cups. Yeah, and you know how it landed kind of reversed? Hmm. A revelation. And with Ariel, I get this Fey energy, and especially with Ashtoreth, I feel like elementals are very, very strong around you. Like they surround you almost like they're always present. You could be feeling a certain kind of presence. It's almost like you're being watched over. Yes. Because you're healing from. Okay, so subconsciously, you are healing from an attack of a sort, which, again, uh, I'm being guided not to talk too much about it. But whatever it was, look at the past 40 days, I'm hearing. Past 40 days. Yeah. Okay, kind of makes sense. This energy is going to dissipate uh, by actually exactly on the 2nd of May. Okay. And that is no coincidence because Pluto is also going to be retrograde in the sign of Aquarius first and then Capricorn. Hmm. If you have been struggling, especially lately in the past 40 days, this energy is being kicked out of your life, but it has served a higher purpose and which will be revealed gradually in the month of May. Yeah. And trust me, the kind of discernment this is bringing into your life, it is going to help you quite a lot in this human life. Okay, let's see the rebel. Okay. Ace of Cups. Love is trying to come in real quick, real fast. It is trying to make itself known. Maybe it has already, but you are not trying to look at it. You're trying your best not to look at it. You're trying to like focus on again the tangible. Focus on your personal expansion. And it's almost like you don't want external interference. Some of you, what is weird is you're seeking this love or companionship, partnership, and all of that, Venusian themes. But at the same time, whenever it shows up, it's like you check out. You really check out. But I feel like this energy is shifting as soon as the flow becomes stronger. Then again, I'm getting that it's very important that you let the chi move in your body. Okay, Reiki will be very helpful for many of you. Kind kind of makes sense why the body is highlighted, because yeah, I associate Taurus with the body for some reason. It's the fixed earth, and it's the first earth sign. It's also like when that Ketuvian Aryan energy, that fire finds form, and fire and earth together, they form something that is tangible, physical, right? So I don't know, maybe that's why. Anyway, let's see, Ben. Wow, you got two aces, Ace of Cups and Ace of Pentacles. Wow. I was actually looking at the pillars here, and I was going to tell you something about strengthening of foundation, but I've already told you that again and again. But that is really highlighted here because this is a divine blessing here. And see, it says drives away evil spirits and rules agricultural production. Okay, so I said second May. It's all of that weird energy is subsiding. It is just like blocking itself off on the very first May itself. It's just and are you seeing the eye here and the eye here? Two different decks. You see, this is no coincidence. There's definite third eye activation for many of you happening during this transit, which kind of makes sense because Shukracharya is often represented on the Hanged Man card, right? And yes, Hanged Man card is essentially about that third eye activation because it's all about finding the new perspective. That is why he's hanging upside down, because his stance itself is very different from the usual, because humans we stand on our legs, but he's hanging on like in the reverse position. But then that's also symbolic because it's telling you, oh my god, yoga is very important, you guys. Certain pathways need to be opened, certain pockets of energy, like it's almost like there's an accumulation happening in some areas, which is especially I'm feeling back, shoulders, yeah, because all of a sudden I felt this weight. Yes. uh, Pay a lot of attention on your posture, how you sit. Okay, and the wings are coming in. The wings are coming in, you guys. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Let's look at nourishment. Oh, two cards. Five of Swords and the Empress. Okay. So with the nourishment card, I was telling you about how you have to actually become more and more self-reliant. That is highlighted here because the Empress pathway is opening for you. You are here to be self-sufficient. Oh, look at that. Who's underneath? Samael. And you see who's peeping like that? Michael. And they both, you know the story, right? Between Michael and Samael, the chariot and the devil. Wow. So this is a this is an internal fight. So your fears and your hopes are battling it out. And I feel like the hope is winning, especially with the Empress being there, right? So yeah, you will be overcoming fears, especially connected to your material reality, as well as issues connected to your health, your body. It's like the way you look at things, the way you perceive your situation, that is going to shift drastically. And as soon as this energetic shift happens, of course you will see the external result too, because I just feel like that there's an expansion that is taking place in your energy field. So you're leaving behind all that lack mindset, which is, again, most of it was due to heavy conditioning. and also projected beliefs and all of that. So of course it also becomes your way of life, but then it's all about sharing that layer, and you're recognizing that, especially with the empress being there with the serpent, you know. Yeah, you are eating that fruit of wisdom. Yeah, it's the right kind of temptation you are dabbling in, let's just say that. It's very important to be very mindful of, you know, watch out for the devil in the details, all right? Okay, we're on a spiritual path. Your job is, especially as a light worker, because I read mostly for the light workers here, but of course I know there are certain beings, certain workers who are on the dark path. And again, no judgment here, I never judge. But there are certain things that you cannot dabble in, especially when it is focused on creating karma, and which also lowers your vibration and all of that. It's just counterintuitive. It's really not what you're here for, and your job is to remember that at all times. So when that sort of energy shows up in your life, pops up, especially like tries to tempt you and all of that, it's never that you don't know it. You always know it, especially with double third eye here. You know, you're intuitive. So something will test you, temptation will test you. This energy keeps coming in lately in my readings for some reason. But yes, that is all of that. You have to choose light. Again, I'm not going to tell you to choose light, but you kind of have to, because naturally you build that way that light chooses you. It's not about you choosing light. But yes, there is a bit of like that warfare which is here. I think it has to do with the Pluto retrograde too. Because this cycle, which is, I think it's ending in the month of September, is finally going to be direct in Aquarius, and then no more retrogrades in Capricorn, which is again that Samael energy devil, right? Capricorn energy. Yeah, it has something to do with Pluto and Venus cycle. So the play between Pluto and Venus is, yeah, it's drastic. It's like intense. It's very testing. It's like a spiritual test. Hmm. But yeah, I'm not gonna get too much into it. But yes, be very mindful of, like, it's very important to overcome fears and any kind of lack mindset. Don't do stupid things. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Because right next to the chamber of violet flame, I feel like there's certain things that need to stop. Like, it needs to go. The karmic release has to happen now, now, in real time. Whenever you're watching this, no more delays here, because spirit has aligned you to this path. So are you going to choose better? Two of Pentacles. Yeah, there's a bit of to and fro here, but I feel like yes, you are choosing better. It says fortune and fame fulfills any request. I feel like there's a natural balancing of karma that is taking place for each one of you, and it is going to show up in your life in one way or the other. Won't be the same for everyone, but again, goes without saying, benefits in the fixed earth sign. Yes, there is going to be expansion at the collective level. It is going to be a prosperous time. It is going to be an abundant time, especially with the square formations in the fixed signs. It is kind of a misunderstood aspect. Oppositions and squares are not fully understood, but I'm not going to get too deep into it. I'm just going to tell you, you have the full divine support around this time to make your dreams come true and to choose better for yourself. So, yes, do that. Now, let's see. Third eye. You see, the tower flipped, and who's this? Nine of Cups. Wow. Okay. Some of you, this is going to be a spontaneous activation, and it says healing on the Nine of Cups. And it also says preserves health and cures disease. That's no coincidence because what did I tell you? Health is going to get better. You just have to look at things differently. Also, like, there is something about being a bit delusional. Like, okay, fine, you have a diagnosis in place or whatever. I'm being told to tell you that don't get too attached to your diagnosis, okay? Also, don't sit and talk about it all the time, like, and also don't let others talk about your issues all the time. Do not feed that energy. Go within, shift the energy. Don't focus on what's wrong, what's bad, what can go worse. Focus on the opposite. Almost they're telling me to tell you have blind faith that you'll be fine. Hmm. Okay. Anything else? What else? Any final messages? Yeah, that was quick. The Hermit. Mm. See, alchemy, transformation helps with spiritual progress, and it is definitely a very progressive time spiritually with the third eye activation showing up here left and right. Look, the Fool underneath. Here's your Uranus and Taurus and okay. Now Spirit is telling me that's it. You guys, look, my throat is blocking up, so it's a good time to do some throat chakra work. I think yoga, throat yoga could be really good for you guys. What I'm gonna do is I'm just going to link a video, the one that I use personally, and if you're guided to, go for it, okay? But I feel like it's a very good time to actually work on your throat, all right? All right, so because it's also in the throat, which is your throat is your power center, right? So when emotions get stuck here, mm, it just spoils a lot of stuff. Also spoils your manifestations deeply, like deeply. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing. But overall, it looks like a great time. It looks like a very, very abundant time for the collective, for the entire collective, and of course, spiritually, a very progressive month, a transit, which kind of makes sense with both the benefits, both the gurus being in the sign of the bull. I don't know why I say the sign of the bull. Yeah, well, some of you could be seeing bulls in your dream. Yeah. Hmm. Okay. Heavy on played in energy, by the way. That's what I see. I hope this helps. If this resonates, please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.